Good morning, kids. It's your time now. Time for Bethany Little Spuds. Okay, this is what you're going to do. You're going to watch and listen very carefully to the video. And at the end, there's going to be one question to answer. And if you can answer it, go ahead and follow the instructions after the video. Okay, have a good day. Bye-bye now.
Hi everyone, it's Aunt Fernita, and we're studying Lesson 12, The Bright Light. The message is, worship is rejoicing in God's presence. This week, our memory verse is, rejoice in the Lord always. I will say it again, rejoice. Philippians 4:4. Did you ever sleep outdoors? Sleeping out is fun if you have moonlight to see by or have a flashlight, but being out in the dark can be scary. Once, 3 of Jesus' disciples saw a bright light at night. Do you think they were afraid? Once, at the end of a busy day, the disciples were getting ready to rest. But Jesus said to Peter, James, and John, "Come, go with me up the mountain." And he led his 3 friends to the top of a nearby mountain. The disciples may have wondered why Jesus took such a long hike at bedtime. They may even wondered, why just us 3? But suddenly they were staring at Jesus. They forgot everything else as they saw him change right before their eyes. A dazzling light from heaven fell on Jesus. His face glowed bright as sunlight bouncing off a piece of glass. His clothes looked like brand new satin robes fit for a king. The light was so bright that the 3 disciples could not move. And then they saw 2 men, also brightly lit, standing with Jesus. Maybe one was wearing a leather purse, as Elijah had worn. Maybe the other carried a rod, as Moses did when leading the Israelites through the Red Sea. Elijah? Moses? The disciples said in wonder. Then they knew without a doubt that indeed Elijah and Moses had come to encourage Jesus. What a strange and wonderful thing was happening. It seemed too good to be true. Elijah and Moses had come to talk with Jesus. Peter felt that he would burst if he didn't tell someone. What could he do to celebrate his joy for Jesus? "Lord, it's good to be here." Peter's voice was breathless with excitement. "Do you want us to build 3 shelters? One for you, one for Elijah, one for Moses?" Just then a bright cloud came over all of them. The cloud seemed as bright as 1,000,000 diamonds dancing in vibrant colors. And out of this dazzling beauty, the voice of God spoke. "This is my Son, whom I love. With him I am well pleased. Listen to him." The voice was loud and deep and shook the mountain. The 3 disciples fell to the ground. They may have thought, sinners like us do not belong in the presence of God. And just like any human might, they shut their eyes tightly. What might happen in the presence of God? The next thing they knew, Jesus was touching them gently. "Get up," he said. "There's nothing to be afraid of." Peter, James, and John sat up and looked around. Moses and Elijah were gone. The light had faded. Jesus was telling them to walk with him back down the mountain. Maybe the disciples began to discuss what they had seen, but Jesus told them not to talk about it. "Tell no one," he said, "until the Son of Man has been raised from the dead." As they walked back to meet the other disciples, they asked Jesus many questions. He explained to them some of the things they did not understand. As long as they lived, they would never forget the glory they saw that night. They would always remember the joy and the awe they felt. They would never forget that they had been in God's presence.
This podcast is read by Franita Buddy for Gracelink.net. Created and produced by Falvo Fowler. Post-produced by Faith Toe at Studio El Piso. The theme music is by Clayton Kinney.